Hey, welcome back to the Launch Point Leader podcast. My name is Lori.
And this is Beau.
And we're so excited to be back here another week to share with you a letter a listener has written in on our website at launchpointleader.com. Today our letter says, Dear Launchpoint, I could really use some advice.
That's why we're here, Lori.
Thank goodness you were in the right spot.
Yep, we're here.
I am in a leadership role at a big company, and one of my personal friends happens to be on my team. We're not super close outside of work, but we've known each other for a long time, and that familiarity is starting to cause some issues. She's gotten really comfortable asking for special treatment, things like extra flexibility, switching tasks, or leaning on me for favors. At first, it didn't feel like a big deal, but it's starting to cause problems. Other team members have noticed, and honestly, I can tell it's hurting the dynamic. But here's the kicker. One of her close friends at work even pulled me aside and told me it was creating tension. I've already had a private conversation with her about it, but nothing's really changed. Now I feel stuck in the middle. I don't want to mess up the friendship, but I can't keep letting this slide either. How do I draw clear boundaries without things getting really weird between us? Signed, Battling Boundaries.
Okay. You're a leader. They are not. You got to remember that. You are writing this, and this is happening in the context of work, because you even say, we are personal friends, but we're not super close outside of work. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you met and became friends inside of work, if you knew one another outside and then started to work together. I don't know. It's kind of irrelevant. But in the context of this, we're talking about work and work relationships. So when you think about that, I would just say, like, this is critical to realize that your relationship likely does not even exist if it wasn't for work. So your loyalty is to the company that is paying you and has given you this role. So everything else comes secondary to that. Now, no, I am not heartless. I am not saying serve the man, not the people. I'm not saying any of that. But in the context of this scenario, we've got to realize that the most important thing here is to lead this person well while serving the interests of the company that's paying your bills and that's giving you this leadership opportunity. The uncomfortable truth about this is, now I kind of give you two different points of view here. If there's nothing that is like really significant happening in this person's life right now as to why they're asking for special treatment, then you're going to have to wake up and realize anybody asking for special treatment is not your friend. They are just not your friend. They are using you. They are trying to attach themselves to you. And they are trying to see how much of you they can get, how much they can get away with because of a perceived relationship. They are not your friend. Now, on the flip side of that, I had a mom that had cancer. My mom had cancer when I was in 4th grade. She beat it. She's still alive today. But she was a teacher. And her principal went above and beyond for her to give her not only the sick days that she had built up, but to coordinate and collect sick days from other teachers that they had built up and to basically work all of that out with the district and everything. And he took a lot on for her, for my mom. And he did not do that for everybody because not everybody had cancer. Not everybody had those extenuating circumstances, but he treated her in such a way that I'm still talking about it, 30 years later. Yeah. So if it's that kind of scenario, which I don't think it is, but just to show we're not heartless here at Launch Point Leader, that's an amazing thing that you can do. But if somebody is just asking for favors and expecting special treatment, they're not your friend in the first place. Don't feel bad about not offering it to them. Get them back in line. Let them be a part of the team like everybody else. And if they don't like it, the door is over there. We'll see you later.
Boom.
Sorry, that's it. That's all I got.
It
is. It is. It's like it's this one for me is a cut and dry issue. It really is. So you're supposed to be their leader. And if they don't respect your leadership ability or your leadership position, then they are not your friend and they're not going to be your friend. So lead them well. And if as a result of that, you strike up a relationship that's deeper and more meaningful, then great.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I wouldn't feel bad about it whatsoever. If you've already had a private conversation and nothing's changed, have another one.
Yeah.
And be really firm and go, these are the things. These are the bullet points. Boom, 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 and boom. This is changing. This is the time period that you have to change it. If it doesn't change in this time period, here's the next step that we're taking. Do you have any questions? Okay, great. I want you to repeat back to me what you heard me say and what you're going to do as a result of this conversation. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. I look forward to working with you tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that's good because this one is fairly cut and dry at the end of the day, right? Like you said, either A, they're going through something that needs, for a set period of time, some extra care because as a human, they're going through something,
Absolutely.
whether you have that relationship or not, or B, it sounds like a little bit they're taking advantage of your perceived relationship of whatever level. So my question was going to be, which you really answered, how do you have that conversation? And tactically, like, what does that look like? So you've had the conversation, and how you said it was, you set in your standards, your modes of communication. Here is how we're going to communicate.
Yep.
Here is how you're going to be in line. We have to have these boundaries together at work, for your friendship. Maybe this is a relationship you still want outside of work to
Sure.
a certain extent, no matter what. So being really clear that you're setting those up for the sake of both of your relationships and I think what you said is really key there is, now tell me what you've understood from this conversation, because so much I work with people that go through issues with friends all the time, that they were friends when they were both team members together, and now that they're leaders or in different levels, it's causing tension in their relationship outside of work can suffer a lot. And I don't know if that's this exact scenario, but a lot of times it's just setting those standards and it helps them maintain their relationship outside of work when they work on these things. But what can happen a lot is they think they have a good conversation and they think they set all these rules and guidelines, and what the other person hears is totally different.
Yep.
And so I think exactly what you said, whether it's on a piece of paper that you outline together or that you present to them and you go over together, having them repeat back, I think is really key.
Communicating effectively is one of the greatest gifts a leader can give to their people that they lead. And so it's like you said, is in the mind of a leader, you've been thinking this for a while probably.
Mm-hmm.
If you're addressing something with a member of your team, it's been on your mind, it's been in your heart, you've been rehearsing it, you've been thinking about it. For your team member, it might be the first time they've thought about it at all.
Yeah.
And so all the things that are on your mind and in your heart might not have come out exactly the way that you wanted it to. They might not have heard everything like you suggested there. So yeah, that's that little, just that little key point of asking them. So now tell me as a result of this, what you'll do differently moving forward. And that can give you some clarity. That also switches it from one side of the brain to the other for that person. It's not just being told. It's them having to listen, understand, and apply.
Think about actions.
Right. And then say, this is what I'm going to go do, not because you told me to, but because I processed it and I'm telling you what I'm going to go do as a result of it. So I hate it. It's a tough spot. I think we've all probably been there, because typically if you're a leader, you like people to a degree. I mean, if you're a leader, you want people to win. Actually, I think whether you like people or a people person is irrelevant in my opinion. But if you're a leader of people, boy, you better have a passion for helping them get to where they want to get to. And so this is a very difficult thing. So I don't want to make light of it, but I do think it is a pretty cut and dry scenario here, that you just have to do a little bit of tough work on this one, and it might be uncomfortable, but the rest of your people, you cannot let one dictate what happens for everybody else. And you can't treat one in a way that is grossly different than everybody else, especially if it's letting them get away with stuff. If it's helping them in a time of need, that's one thing. If it's giving them special treatment just because they think they're special, they need to learn that they're not that special.
That's good. Real quick, let's go escalate it a little further and say you've had this conversation, you laid everything out. What actions are you going to take? It goes one of two ways. Either A, it's gone well, improvements are being made, your relationship, improves, but you've got those boundaries set at work. B, they don't take this feedback well. Maybe there's a little bit of drama inside and outside of work. What's next steps and escalation look like on that side of things?
If you've done one-on-one and you've tried to handle it at a leader to peer or leader to direct report, kind of a friend to friend level, but it's been a professional conversation, points outlined, et cetera. And it's doing what you're saying. You've got to get somebody else involved. So you've got to get, this leader's got to get their direct report involved that they report to. They've got to get a member of HR involved, somebody that's a third party, that's an independent party, to be in the room as they have the conversation again. And with that conversation, it's not just talking about the same thing you talked about last time. It's that like, hey, we've got two problems now. One is the problem we had before. And the second is that you haven't done anything to change that you said you were going to do from the problem when it was pointed out previously. And so now we've got this person in as well, just to give some outside insight and to act as a third party, not mediator, but just as a support there and a witness, because that's, in my opinion, every company is different, but you're going to escalate this to that next level. And then it's you reset the expectations again. If there are grievances that the other party wants to air, it's helpful to have a third party in the room so that neither of you that are like involved can say, well, they said this and I said this. There's somebody else that heard exactly what was said and can give some insight and be a witness to what was agreed upon going forward. And then at that point, if it doesn't change, again, for me, it's more of a whatever your group on one is. If there's an agreement that this person has to change and they've not done it twice now we've got 3 issues. And so we bring more people into it. That's usually the leadership body for that business to some degree or that department, where it's kind of like a last-ditch effort. It's not a slap on the wrist. It's not like we're trying to intimidate you. It's like we all care so much about you and your future here that we want you to understand we all need you to change these behaviors so that you can continue to thrive here and that we can be a great place for you. So not intimidation, but just a show of it's serious, but we want to support you in your efforts with it as well.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think it's good just to think through what possible next steps. Battling boundaries, you could have this conversation and 9 times out of 10, it's going to go well and you're going to see improvements, but there is something to be prepared for, to know like you do have options if that conversation, like here's what next steps look like.
Yeah.
And I think those are great. I really appreciate that. Any parting advice or words of wisdom you want to drop
No,
on
I
us?
think don't take the, because the familiarity with one another is there, never underestimate the need to have these conversations in a place where it's either a witness is present, where there's a clear door, where there's video recording, audio recording. Like from a business owner standpoint, just protect yourself in this scenario as the leader, because you have a lot to lose if you're blamed for something that may or may not be true of what you said or did.
Yeah.
So just like be as public as accessible during this conversation as you can possibly be while being respectful to the situation.
Yeah, that's good. Great words.
Awesome.
Battling boundaries. I really appreciate you writing in and just dealing with this issue with the level and care. I think the worst thing you could have done in the situation is nothing and just let it continue to sit. And that's just going to fester and cause more issues. So even though it's difficult in the moment, I think in the long term, a lot of these steps are really going to help you and your entire team be on equal footing and feel that. We really appreciate you writing in. And if you or someone else out there wants to write in and share, maybe something similar or completely new topic that you'd like us to talk about, please visit our website, launchpointleader.com. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks.